to here. The biggest problem I get is in the summer because the cooling facilities in both Europe and here are inadequate in the summer. So sometimes we do have problems with that.
Momma Rossi, an Italian-Canadian, explains how she substitutes Italian eggplants with Oriental eggplants to create a wonderful stir-fry.
Is with the variety of an eggplant, for instance, they come small and they come very long, elongated, and then there's also the eggplant, as most people would know, shape or form, and they can be incorporated many ways. The small ones are great for stewing. The long ones are great for stir fry. The actual eggplant itself, they're great for slicing and breading. You can incorporate as a lasagna type of a dish. Or the other ones, the long ones, you can actually, you know, like I said, do a little stir fry and you can toss them beside some eggs. You can toss it beside some pasta. So there's many ways you can incorporate that into your diet. The eggplants that I was preparing earlier, or as you saw, very quickly I sauteed a cooking onion with some extra virgin olive oil, and chopped the elongated eggplant and sauteed it with some garlic, salt, and that's it. Tossed it, ready for, you know, when it became soft and ready to serve. And that's it. Very simple, very quick, and very nutritious.
I serve, well, a small community from that region, so this includes Ugandans, Kenyans, Tanzanians, Rwanda, Burundi, some people from Sudan, some people from the Congo. I also serve some Asians who were originally from those countries.
80% are South Asians and 20% is a mixed customer. Every ethnic group, like we're Indian, Indian customer might want a different type of like shape, size, and a Pakistani would want a different one. Say a Chinese person would want a different, like a daikon, for example, we like the skinny long ones, a Chinese customer would like the small fat one. So it depends.
I mean, I know the supermarkets are trying to increase, they're bringing in vegetables that haven't been around, so what we're trying to do is having direct links with the consumers to be able to buy these same vegetables and grow them here to have a fresher and more closer product.
Over the years, vegetables that were once considered ethnic in nature have found themselves to be mainstream and are found at any local supermarket. How can we replicate this trend with the new ethnic vegetables in the market?
I have an uncle who grows bitter gourd, and we enjoy that. And then we also have another friend who actually is Italian, and she grows peppers, and they're really, really hot. So she'll give them to us because they can't eat them. They're too hot.
My parents would either grow the vegetables in the backyard, in our own little backyard, and when my friends used to come over, they had no clue what we were eating, or if I was trying to explain what we were having for dinner, they had no clue what I was talking about. Most people during that time would understand peas, carrots, and corn, and everything else was very different. So in saying that, in today's cuisine, you find eggplants, peppers, squash, and rapini everywhere. It's almost in all cuisines, or people have heard of it, or most people have tried it.
Luckily, there are quite a number now of Ghanaian shops, and some of our foods cross over with some of the Caribbean shops, which now you find some Caribbean foods in some of the larger chain stores like Food Basics, No Frills, even Metro.
Okra in the past 10-15 years, it's been growing a lot.
Yeah.
And that's because of all the people immigrating to Canada, East and West Indians. Another one that I really saw a big increase volume was cilantro. because back 25, 30 years, you know, parsleys used to be very big, but I believe now cilantro is 5 or 6 times bigger than parsley. Okay. A lot of people use cilantro, also knowing as coriander and Chinese parsley. Yeah. So it just took over like crazy.
What's happened in the past, you get what we call replacement crops. Radicchio becomes popular. It basically is coming out of Italy. It comes from other parts of the world as well. But radicchio could be grown in Ontario, so therefore you get a replacement crop. Of late, in the Norfolk County area, where it was a tobacco area and the soil is sandy soil, now they're growing more and more sweet potatoes in Ontario. So that will compete against sweet potatoes from other parts of the world. So now, if you were a buyer, you have the option to choose Ontario sweet potatoes or sweet potatoes from Louisiana or North Carolina or other parts of the world.
As more people immigrate into Canada, the need for ethnocultural vegetables grown locally becomes ever more significant. But what is the way forward for this ethnic vegetable market?
I think the way forward is exciting, full of opportunity for people who are interested in communicating their desires for the kinds of foods that they want to eat, and also for new immigrants to Canada to be able to get into farming if they have farming skills. The average age of a farmer in Ontario is mid-50s, so we need new farmers, and this is a real opportunity for new immigrants to get into farming.
Ethnocultural vegetables now are becoming more and more popular because people are learning more about the other cultures, and the proportion of the ethnic community within the population in Ontario is increasing. And Toronto is a huge area where there are a lot of ethnocultural market. So once people get to know some of the beneficial effect of some of these vegetables, say for example bitter melon, it is highly nutritious. It is known to regulate type 2 diabetic cases, to reduce the sugar, increase in sugar. So people before were not aware of this particular vegetable. They hardly ever used to use it. Now people are consuming, outside the ethnic cultural community, they are consuming bitter melon juice because they know that it's got some effect. And so that way there is an industry developing based on the ethnocultural vegetables. Now if you go to a particular ethnic store, you can find this juice of bitter melon, the amla, which is another superfruit, and there are so many other the vegetable juices available. So there is an industry which is being developed, and there is every chance that as the population grows, people get more and more familiar with this, and this industry will flourish.
I think the first thing is to acknowledge publicly that it is a growing market and that there's a lot of potential, and that the people are here. They have the resources here, I mean the human resources. So what they need to do is to kind of streamline that, or make a parallel development as they develop the conventional vegetable market. They should also look at the ethnic vegetable market. So I would say policy should be there by the government that recognizes that it's a sector and it's a niche.
I think it's going to grow. Because it's not just South Asians wanting ethnic vegetables, it's everybody, all the customers are slowly getting into it, like trying different, like the taste of it, different tastes, trying different things. So I think it will grow.
There's great opportunity to not only to sell into the ethnocultural vegetables into existing, let's say, what we'll call, we're all ethnic people no matter which way you look at it, but these non-traditional Ontario vegetables are targeted towards specific ethnic groups, South Asians, Afro-Caribbean, Chinese, etc. But I think there's also an equally big opportunity to expand into the European ethnic communities as well. Why not? We all eat a much more diverse diet than our parents did, I think, in part of travel, in part because of exposure, what have you. But people are, a lot of people are very willing or want to try something new. So how can we then access that market? So again, understanding the opportunities around let's say the non-traditional market for non-traditional vegetables is an important piece as well that can only grow.
I think the future for ethnocultural vegetables looks bright, certainly. Not only are there people of many cultures who want to eat the food that they're familiar with, but more and more people are interested in a wide variety of foods. I've seen recipes for pak choy in Chatelaine magazine, for instance. So the demand, I think, is only going to increase.
We're trying to promote a better understanding of how to produce these vegetables for farmers who want to get into growing in this niche market, and also to consumers who can see the benefit of having these produced locally within Ontario and within Canada. So there are tremendous advantages both in terms of reducing greenhouse gases and also contributing to a healthy Canadian diet. And for that reason we say eat local but taste global.